What's up, everybody? It's Chris from One Take. So the Fed, the PhDs are being wrong. They came out with pretty much a trajectory of where they think inflation's going and how they plan on tackling it. So I think it's pretty important that we all check that out, figure out where their head is, because ultimately that really does affect us in many ways. So I'm going to show you exactly where the Fed think inflation's going, how they plan on tackling it, and also how it's going to affect us. All right, so let's hop into it. So this right here is actually the Fed's plan going forward. Looks like they're trying to give smaller interest rate hikes going forward, as if to say that inflation already peaked. If you didn't know, they just gave a 75 basis point interest hike a few days ago, and what they're planning on doing in September, so that's 2 months away, is a 50 basis point interest hike. So this will be the first time that they gave a smaller interest hike since inflation really started getting out of hand. Following that 50 basis point interest hike, it looks like they're going to try and employ two 25 basis point interest hikes after that, and then just have it stagnant for a little while, and then slowly start to retract these interest hikes. And honestly, this plan to me isn't really that bad. I'm just figuring they're about 1% to 2% underestimating how much they're going to have to increase interest hikes. I say this because we're just now starting to see the effects of the Fed interest hikes on things that apply to you and me. But before we get into exactly what's being affected by these Fed interest hikes, I think it's important to understand what they're actually doing. So the importance of a Fed interest hike is to get a bank to hold on to their money. It forces them to have an excess reserve capital in their account. And by doing this, that decentivizes loans or giving out money to other people, because these banks need them in their account. So first thing that they're coming for, that would be the credit card. So right now they're actually at a 3-year high, and that's because, again, each Fed interest hike decentivizes loaning money, so they don't want anybody using credit cards. That's why they're up to almost like 15% APR right now. And the next thing they're coming for is that subscribe button. So make sure you hit that button before they could come and tax that and raise APRs on that as well. But seriously, the next thing they're coming for are ARMs, and that's adjustable rate mortgages. And if you look right here, there are 10-to-1 ARMs have increased by 0.1% in just the last week. And lastly, we see that they're actually increasing the interest rates on our savings account. So now instead of having 0.1% return on your money in the bank account, you'll actually see probably around 2% by the end of the year. Don't be fooled, we still have 88% inflation. So you're only losing, 88 minus 2, so 86% of your money now. So what's the take-home message then? We're actually starting to see these Fed interest hikes actually have an effect on our ability to get money. So this is when you're actually going to start tackling inflation. This is probably like baby steps, but we're finally starting to tackle inflation. But tackling inflation is actually a double-edged sword, because now that it's harder for people to get money through credit cards or whatever, loans, they're not going to be buying things as readily. So that puts a lot of strain on companies like Amazon, Google, all of them, because there's going to be less customers. So that's why, if you know anything about me, you know that I'm a total bear, and I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I do like that we're finally starting to see the effects of the Fed interest hikes on inflation. So it looks like we're just now starting to get into the murky water. I know it's going to be rough, but we had to do it at some point. It's totally part of the ride. You don't get to have 10% inflation and not have any consequences. So what do we do now? Get 10 more credit cards and max them out. I'm just kidding. That's not financial advice at all. As always, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it's been really great talking to you guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked what I presented today. Please let me know I could be better. And remember to please like, comment, and subscribe. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one.